Hey guys, Tech Hunters here again doing another action figure review, and this is somewhat of a Skywalker family review, I suppose you could say. Now I have two movie related figures and one Legends figure, which is basically Leia's daughter, which is Jaina, I think you pronounce it, Jaina Solo, who's from the comics and the novels, as opposed to the movies. So for the three figures I'm going to review, I decided to do them back to back because they're all kind of, well, related more than anything else. So I'm going to review The Last Jedi Luke, or The Last Jedi Old Man Luke. Now, it was released as part of the Last Jedi wave, but it's General Leia Organa, but this is actually the Force Awakens version of Leia. It's not the Last Jedi version because she didn't actually wear the uniform that she has on in Last Jedi. And then it's, as I said, Jaina Solo, which is Han and Leia's daughter, who's kind of Force sensitive daughter. So onto the boxes first. So they all come in the standard black and red Black Series 6-inch scale boxes. So Jaina is number 56. I'm not sure if you can see that. So Jaina is number 56. Leia is 52, and Jedi Master Luke is 46. And the boxes are all very similar. So you have the image of the character down on the bottom right hand corner. I'll just move Leia out of the way for a tick. So each one has a bit of a write-up on the back. So for Leia, it just says, despite all that she has endured and lost in a lifetime of war, General Leia continues to shine as a beacon of hope for the royal soldiers of the resistance under her command. And then it's just repeated in several languages. For Jaina, daughter of Leia Organa and Han Solo, Jaina Solo is a Jedi student of Luke Skywalker. Like her father, she is also a crack pilot, skilled mechanic, and like her mother, she is a born leader. And then you have an image of the character as well. And then for Jedi Master Luke, if I just bring his box in, he says, after tragedy destroyed his attempt to rebuild the Jedi Knights, Luke Skywalker vanished from the galaxy. Now the Resistance needs his help to thwart the efforts of the evil First Order. So technically, the Luke Skywalker figure is also a Force Awakens version because it's the uniform you see him wear at the very end of the film and at the beginning of Last Jedi. So technically, he is still in the same film universe as Leia, or the cinematic universe as Leia, uniform wise or gear wise. So onto the figures themselves. So they're all part of the Star Wars Black Series. I think Jaina was released as part of a kind of a fan favorite type thing, because I know there was her and that Doctor, whatever her name is, getting a figure release, and I think she got her figure release first. So for accessories, she actually comes with the kind of Rebel Alliance pilot gear, which has pegs on it, so it slips over one arm and goes up on her feet. So if I just get her feet into this, bear with me a moment to remember how to do it. So it opens on one side, so you don't have to actually pop her head off to get it on and off. So it just pops over her hand. It should go underneath her hair, and then it should just click together at the back. So hopefully I'm doing this all on camera. So just pegs in there, and just get the other piece around. Probably would be easier to pop the head off, but I've had instances where I've nearly broken the peg on figures who generally don't have their head pop off. So there she goes, and then she also comes with a Rebel pilot helmet. And then, as part of her Jedi lineage, she comes with a purple lightsaber, which can detach from, the blade can detach from the hilt, and there's a little peg or a little clip on the side of her belt that she can hold the lightsaber hilt on. And she also has a pistol, which is very similar in design to her father's one, which is the kind of modified World War II, was it Mauser, I think it was, but it has a very similar design to it. In fact, if I just grab this quickly off screen, bear with me. I have the Black Series hand pistol from the Force Awakens hand. You can see the similarities. The only difference is her version of the pistol doesn't have the scope, but it's a very similar pistol to her father. Head sculpt is very nice. Articulation is as what you would expect, so head is on a ball joint with a hinge. Arms can go out that much. She has single jointed elbows, can get it over a 90-degree bend, which is quite nice. She has a swivel wrist with a hinge, so it goes in and out. She actually has a ab crunch with a swivel, so she has quite an articulated upper waist. She has no lower waist swivel. Then she has ball jointed hips with the upper thigh swivel, and then dual jointed knees, and then she has the kind of rocker ankles with the hinge, so you can move the ankle side to side and forward and back. So she's quite poseable. You can get her into some very nice poses, and she looks really good on the shelf. You can either, as I say, you can either have her as her pilot gear, or you can strip the pilot gear off and just have the belt with the lightsaber and have her kind of training fatigues. So onward to the Luke figure. So if I can just pull his hood back. He does come with a soft goods cloak, which is completely removable. It does have these little tassel pieces that you're supposed to tie around the front, or kind of have draped down around the front, but I tend to leave it off. Again, he has very nice articulation, single joint in the elbow with a swivel, swivel wrists with the hinge. He does have his robotic right hand. He has head sculpt with side to side, no tilt, but he can go up and down a bit. He can go down more than go back because of the hair sculpt. He has a ball jointed waist. Now his legs are articulated, but his robe piece is one big kind of rubber piece. So he has the standard kind of ball hinge leg with the upper thigh swivel and dual jointed legs, or dual jointed knees, sorry, and the same sort of ankle swivel as Jaina. But unfortunately, you kind of lose a lot of it with the robe. It doesn't really hinder too much, but it does look kind of out of place if you start moving his legs around the place. It would have been nicer if they went with a soft goods robe for him, as well as the cloak, but they didn't. And he actually comes with no accessories whatsoever, which is interesting considering the sculpt has a clip that you can holster a lightsaber, and I have the one that came with, I think this is the one that came with Rey. It could be the Anakin one from the Revenge of Sith version of Anakin, but it does actually hold on his waist. So if you have the lightsaber accessory, you can actually clip it to the side of his waist. But all in all, he's nice. He's a nicely sculpted figure. I said he does have a few downsides with the robe being what it is, but he does look really good. And I'll just chuck Jaina next to her uncle. And then for the last figure is Leia. Leia is very nicely sculpted. It looks very much like how Carrie Fisher appeared in the films. And again, articulation is the same. Ball jointed arms can go out that much, swivel all the way around, single jointed elbows with swivels, swivel wrists with hinges. She does have a upper waist joint. Now it does make the figure look a little weird with the cut on the actual joint, and it does look like she has a bit of a diaper crotch kind of thing going on, but her legs are on single jointed ball joints, with the thigh swivel, and with the dual knees, so she can get her knee back that much. And again, same thing with the boots. What's interesting is it looks like they almost put heels on her boots, but they're sculpted them without the actual heel part, so it is an interesting look. And then she has this waistcoat which is removable. It's a separate rubber piece. And she has her trademark pistol, which is the only accessory she comes with. What is interesting to note is that she actually comes with the same pistol that the 40th anniversary version Leia comes with. The only difference is her pistol actually has paint apps on it, whereas the 40th anniversary version is just completely black plastic. And in addition, she also, as I said previously, she's wearing the uniform that she wore in Force Awakens as opposed to the Last Jedi. So if you wanted to, and I have them just offside here for a size comparison. Let me just move people out of the way. Here is the Force Awakens old Han Solo. So you can see she does scale up pretty nicely. If I recall correctly, Carrie Fisher wasn't very tall, so she always kind of was a bit smaller than both Luke and Han. But overall, she scales up really nicely. So if you want a sort of more happy family appearance, as opposed to having Kylo Ren, which I don't have the unmasked version, I have the Force Awakens version, but not the Han. But you can see, you can have Jaina Solo with her mother and father, if you want. If you want to go that route and just ignore everything, all the stuff that's in the films. So there you go, guys. Do recommend picking up these figures if you can find them. I know some of them tend to be harder to find. I think the Jaina Solo figure is quite a hard one to find. The Jedi Master Luke is fairly easy, and I'm not too sure on Leia, the General Leia. She was part of the first wave of Last Jedi figures, so she should be easy enough to find at retail. But all in all, they are quite a good set of figures. I do have some other Black Series figures reviews planned as well that I've picked up. Mostly older figures, because they tend to be, for some reason, they seem to be popping up now as opposed to when the movies were out. So like the Rogue One stuff and some of the older Force Awakens stuff has been reissued over here. So as I get them, I'll probably do reviews for them. So there you go, guys. Quick video review for Luke, Leia and Jaina. I hope you like my reviews. I know I kind of crammed a lot of them into one review, but as I say, please feel free to like, comment and subscribe to my channel. And as I said, I hope you enjoyed the review. Cheers, guys.